What is the secret to Fall Guys' success? Fall Guys is a battle royale game that's unlike any other. It throws away the Hunger Games atmosphere where you need to kill other players and replaces it with a series of family-friendly minigames where eventually only one player will be left standing. Gone are the humanoid characters armed to the teeth with weapons. Instead, we have anthropomorphic jelly beans competing against each other in a Nick Jr. version of American Ninja Warrior. Despite this, the game exploded onto the gaming scene with 7 million units sold on Steam alone and has been one of the most viewed games on Twitch through the months since its launch. So just what made this game become a gaming phenomenon? I think it boils down to 4 main reasons. It's simplistic in everything it does. Mediatonic clearly had one resounding goal in mind when creating Fall Guys. Make everything so simple that your grandmother could play it. This starts with the game's controls. There are only 3 buttons along with movement and camera control. You can jump, dive, grab, and that's it. It's very straightforward and it gets the job done. Now, as I said before, the default characters are literally just jelly bean shaped blobs with legs and arms attached to them. While you do have the option to dress up your character in costumes, they aren't nearly as detailed as what you would expect from Fortnite, for example. But beyond the characters, take a look at the arenas. You don't see sprawling battlegrounds covered in complex structures. Instead, you might find an arena entirely consisting of a single rectangular platform or multiple layers of clustered hexagons. The obstacle course levels can be slightly more complex than this, but the levels are always simple enough that anyone can figure out what the goal is with a quick glance. And this carries over into the mini games themselves. How to play each game can generally be summed up in a single sentence. It might be simply race to the finish line, or it could be grab a tail from your opponents and hold on to it until time runs out. This simplicity really helps the game because it isn't asking much from its players. You don't need to learn a bunch of complicated mechanics to play or micromanage multiple HUD elements. You just pick up the controller and have fun. I think that really resonated with players, especially now during the pandemic. But I don't think this is the strongest reason for the game's instant success. It's a meme machine. If you haven't been living under a rock for the past month, you have undoubtedly seen the wave of clips and memes of Fall Guys that have spread across the internet like a wildfire. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but the jokes practically write themselves with this game. In nearly every situation where a player gets knocked out, there's something to laugh at. Sometimes it's unfortunate circumstances. Other times it's the rage induced by being eliminated just as you were about to cross the finish line because you were grabbed by another player. The incredibly high frequency of these moments meant the game was being shared at an incredibly high rate. If I didn't know any better, I would say this was designed to go viral. But the streamers might have been the people who benefited the most from this because the game was easy content. Take for example Tim the Tatman. Thanks to Fall Guys, he reached the highest viewer count he ever had, and it was all because people were gathering in droves to see if he would finally get his first win. Sure, it helped that the Fall Guys official Twitter account playfully attacked him on a near daily basis, but it also had a lot to do with the fact that the game is very fun to watch. It's a battle royale without the boring parts. I think part of the reason it's so entertaining to watch is the game show structure of the game. It creates the tense will they make it moments in nearly every round, and it intensifies the further the player gets. Granted, every battle royale has those moments, but I think it's a little bit different here because the mini games change each round. Doing this allows it to avoid most of the boring, monotonous parts of the typical battle royale experience. There's no looting phase or time spent traversing a large map to find enemy players. There isn't even a waiting area before matches like other battle royale games. Matchmaking is also very fast, designed to get players in and out of games quick. The only downtime is in between rounds. To be honest, the waiting time between rounds is one of my only real issues with the game, but I don't think it takes away from the fun much at all. But there's another ingredient here that I think is helping set it apart from the other Battle Royale games. Anyone can win. Unlike its competitors in the genre, the playing field is pretty leveled in Fall Guys. There just isn't much of a skill gap between players. Don't get me wrong, there will always be players that are better than others, but this game doesn't ensure the best player always wins. There's a lot of random things that can happen, causing you to be eliminated. Sometimes you just run into a series of unfortunate events that you can't recover from. In addition to that, there are also team games where control is taken out of your hands and you have to rely on your teammates to perform well. Now, of course, strategy and awareness will give you an edge over your opponents, but that's pretty much the only edge you can get. This ties back to the simplicity of the game, but there's no technical skill involved here. Anyone can pick up the game and have a reasonable shot at winning. That may be the most refreshing part of the game for a lot of people. It's not a competitive game where people need to practice just to keep up with the average player. You just hop on and have fun. When you look at these factors, it's not hard to see how this small game became a viral hit. If you enjoyed this discussion video, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'm Doc Caesar, and I hope to see you next time.